How often do you discover something this good? Remember the last time you ate in a terrific restaurant or saw a great movie? You probably couldn't wait to tell everyone you knew all about it. That's how I feel about Macintosh. You and I know Macintosh can help a lot of people do their jobs better, in less time, and more creatively. We can pass that message along to our customers by telling them and showing them how Macintosh can improve their work. To help you demonstrate how the unique capabilities of Macintosh can be used to meet your customers' needs, you're going to meet Gary Donovan, a retail salesperson who understands the great sales potential of Macintosh. Gary's performance may give you a couple of ideas that you can use in your own selling situations. We'll see Gary demonstrate Macintosh to two typical customers with different needs. In each case, Gary uses the key selling points of Macintosh to help convince his customers that Macintosh is the solution for them. Those key selling points are highlighted for you in the Macintosh Selling Guide. They are: 1. Lisa technology; 2. 32-bit architecture; 3. Personal productivity tools from leading software companies; and 4. It's one complete transportable box. Let's see how Gary uses these key points to help sell Macintosh. Gary's first customer is Walt Jacobs. Walt is the vice president of a small company. He's heard of personal computers and is aware that they could help him improve his personal productivity, but he's always been a little hesitant to try one. Jane West, Gary's second customer, is a middle-level manager in a large company who's more knowledgeable about computers than Walt. Here's Walt now.
Hi, I'm Gary Donovan. What brings you into our store today?
Well, I'm Walt Jacobs, and I'm looking for a computer that might be able to help me in my business.
Well, you've come to the right place. Were you interested in any particular computer?
Well, I'm not sure. I saw an ad for an Apple called Macintosh.
And what was it about Macintosh that attracted your attention?
Well, the ease with which you can learn to use Macintosh. You see, I've never really considered using computers before because I'm not a technical person. And frankly, computers have always seemed pretty confusing. But the ad made it sound like Macintosh might be easy to learn.
Well, Macintosh is very easy to learn and use. What type of business are you in?
I am the vice president of Smith Bates and Company.
Oh, I see. Well, what parts of your job as vice president do you see Macintosh helping you with?
Well, the company is experiencing a very rapid growth, and I'm swamped. I spend more and more of my time doing paperwork, letters, reports, memos.
How would you like to change that?
Well, I'd like to do my job faster and better, and it would give me more time for planning for my company's continued growth.
How do you do your paperwork now, Walt?
Well, I usually write it by hand, or I dictate it to a secretary. And then the work goes to a typing pool. And after that, there are usually revisions and more revisions. And that all takes time.
So what you're looking for is a personal computer that can help you do your work more efficiently?
That's right.
Could you give me an example of the kind of planning you've been doing?
Well, sure. Recently, I've been working on budget and revenue forecasts for next year.
Do you ever use spreadsheets in your financial planning, Walt?
Not as often as I'd like to.
Why is that?
Well, I do spreadsheets with a pencil and a calculator. But that takes a lot of time, and it's usually a hassle. And by the time they've gone through typing, I've already lost a lot of time, and there are often mistakes.
Would you like to be able to do your spreadsheets more quickly and easily, and even revise them yourself?
Oh, sure. I mean, that way I could spot future trends. I could make even better decisions.
Do you ever use the spreadsheet information in your memos, Walt?
Yes, I do, but that's one more time that it has to go through typing, which means more delays and sometimes more errors.
I see. Well, Macintosh can help you eliminate that step.
Well, I'll be interested to see how.
Walt, it sounds like you've got a heavy workload. Do you ever try to take some of the work home?
More and more, I've been trying to do my thinking and writing at home, away from ringing phones and meetings. And I'd like to do more of my work there, but there are just so many reports and files that I can carry.
Well, Macintosh can help you there, too. Now, to make certain I show you how we can meet all of your needs, let's recap what we've just discussed. You've said you want a computer that's easy to learn and use, and one that can help you do your memos and other work in less time.
Right so far.
And to help you in planning, you'd like to be able to do spreadsheets quickly and easily. And you'd also like to find a way to do more of your work at home. Is that a complete list?
That's about it.
One more thing, Walt. Has your company set aside money for buying a personal computer once you've found what you're looking for?
Yes, we have, but we're not prepared to make a major capital expenditure right now.
I see.
This is a good time for Gary to make sure Walt is aware of how affordable Macintosh is. Gary's quick to point out the alternative financing plans available to Walt through the Apple credit card program. When he's sure Macintosh is within Walt's budget, Gary still has a little more qualifying to do.
Okay, Walt, we've covered financing. Will anyone else in your company be involved in making the final decision?
No, that's my decision.
Walt, I think Macintosh is the perfect computer for you.
Now Gary feels that Walt's a qualified prospect and that Macintosh can meet his needs. So he decides to let Walt get better acquainted with Macintosh at the demo station.
Walt,
Well.
here's Macintosh.
Oh, it's smaller than I expected. Are you sure Macintosh can do everything I need?
Wait till you see the power of Macintosh. It'll do everything you want, but it's small so you can move it around easily on your desk. It's there when you need it, but it's never in your way. And it comes complete in one transportable box. It will travel with you wherever it's most convenient for you to work. This 5-minute presentation will give you a feel for the system and show you firsthand how easy Macintosh is to work with. When you're finished, I'll give you a more detailed demonstration to show you how Macintosh can help you achieve your specific objectives. How does that sound?
Well, it sounds fun.
Let me show you.
Gary gets Walt started at the demo station and lets him work on his own for a few minutes while he prepares a personalized demonstration. When Gary returns, Walt has finished watching the presentation and indicates that he's impressed by Macintosh's simplicity as well as its capabilities. Now Walt's ready for more in-depth information.
I like the mouse, but getting used to it is going to take some practice.
It's what Macintosh lets you do with the mouse that's important, Walt. With the mouse and Macintosh, you don't have to memorize and type long commands the way you do with conventional personal computers. In comparison to that, learning to move the mouse is very easy.
Good.
As you saw at the demo station, Macintosh is a compact system. All the power you need is right here in this one box. It has an easy-to-read, high-resolution screen and a detachable keyboard. It uses pocket-size 3.5-inch discs. The plastic covering makes them reliable and durable. Few worries about damaging them. Now, before we get into actual applications packages, let me describe what you see on the screen when you turn on Macintosh and insert a disk. The gray area is the electronic desktop. Like your office desk, it's where you do your work. The electronic desktop is part of what's called Lisa technology. It's what makes Macintosh incredibly easy to use, and you'll see why as we go along.
Okay.
Notice the pictures or icons along the side? Our desktop is just like yours. We use familiar objects like those you have around your desk. We even have a trash can. As you've already seen, you use the mouse to select the objects you want to work on. What do you think? Macintosh makes sense so far?
Fine.
Notice that the disk icon is highlighted. It lets you know that the disk has been selected for you. Now, see the menu bar across the top of the screen? It contains different actions you can take.
I see.
Now, to see what's on the disk, I select the File menu by moving the mouse to position the pointer on File. Then I hold down the mouse button and pull down the File menu by dragging the pointer until I come to Open. When I release the mouse button, watch what happens.
That's really something. Are all personal computers that fast?
No, they're not. Macintosh is much faster than conventional personal computers. That's because it can process 32 bits of information at one time, at least twice as many as the others. This fast, powerful 32-bit architecture makes Lisa technology possible. That's the mouse, icons, and pull-down menus that make Macintosh easy to learn and to use. Something you said you really wanted a computer, right?
So far, it looks good.
Notice the icons on the screen here? They represent various documents that are on the disk. Next, I'm going to show you how to use an electronic spreadsheet program called Multiplan to help you prepare a forecast.
Gary tells Walt what they'll cover in the rest of the demo. Then he continues to demonstrate Macintosh, creating a simple spreadsheet with Multiplan and a brief memo with MacWrite. He inserts a portion of the spreadsheet model in the memo, showing Walt how easy it is to cut and paste from one application to another. Finally, he prints out the documents for Walt.
The difference between Macintosh and other personal computers is as simple as point, click, cut, and paste. Now, doesn't this seem easier than the way you're doing things now?
There's no comparison. It would take me 2 hours to turn out something of this quality. I'm beginning to see how Macintosh could make my work easier.
And increase your personal productivity?
It really could, Gary.
What about it, Walt? Can we set you up with Macintosh today?
Could be, but before I say yes, now you've showed me McWrite and Multiplan. But people have told me that I should make sure that there's plenty of software support for any system that I buy.
Apple has a strong commitment to making sure there's plenty of software developed for Macintosh by leading third-party developers. In fact, over 100 software developers began writing programs for Macintosh even before it was introduced. Here's a list of what's available.
There's more here than I probably would ever use.
And all these programs use the mouse, pull-down menus, and the same basic commands: point, click, cut, paste, the ones you've already learned. The real benefit of Lisa technology for you, Walt, is that after you've learned one program, it'll be easy to learn and use the others, and you can move information between them quickly and easily. Make sense?
Sure does.
And when you want to do your work at home, Walt, take Macintosh with you. Remember, it's complete, all in one box. Plug it in, slip in the disk, and you're ready to work.
It looks terrific.
So what do you think, Walt? It seems that Macintosh really meets your needs, and it's within your budget. Would you like to use the Apple credit card to place your order now?
Why not?
Good. You're making an excellent decision. Macintosh is a great system.
Another Macintosh goes to work. Did you see how Gary organized the entire sale? He greeted Walt and made him feel comfortable. He then asked questions to find out Walt's needs, and he listened carefully to the answers. Gary also made sure Walt was qualified, that he was interested in buying, that he was ready to buy soon, that he had the money, and was the sole decision-maker on the purchase. He introduced Walt to Macintosh while preparing a brief, personalized demonstration geared to Walt's specific objectives. Gary obviously understood Macintosh's 4 key features and was able to discuss them as benefits to Walt: the ease of learning and use of Lisa technology, the speed and flexibility of the 32-bit architecture needed to support Lisa technology, the superior personal productivity software from leading third-party developers, and its one complete transportable box. And Gary made sure Walt knew that Apple provides all this value at a price within Walt's budget. Gary discussed the Apple credit card and offered Walt financing alternatives rather than discussing one price. Throughout the sale, Gary read Walt's buying signals, and when the time was right, he closed by asking for the order. We'll pause here to give you some time to think about and discuss what you've just seen. Feel free to turn off the video player and turn it back on when you're ready to see Gary meet his next customer.